morning. So welcome to our January 2022 sales meeting. Happy New Year. We're going to try to get our program over by noon. And we have a lot of exciting announcements and things that we're kind of starting to unroll for the new year. So let's dig into today's program. As a reminder, we're gonna write things down. I put this at the beginning of every single program we do because knowledge is not power, execution is power. So get out a pen and paper and write down a couple things that you're gonna do when you leave today's meeting. We don't want you to take 45 minutes of your day set aside and not do something powerful with that time. And in order to do something powerful, it's just writing down one or two things that you're going to take away today and bring out into your business for 2022. So first, we want to welcome all of our newest agents. So Gina, Rachel, Josh, Denise, John, and Angela. So welcome. And then Lenny Jean in Salem, Ashley Genro, Salem, Sharon Narbone Drake. We have some new Florida agents as well, including Thomas and Sandeep. So welcome to all of our new agents. We have some big growth happening in the next couple of months. This is the busy season when agents start to make moves. So you'll see lots of new agents joining in February, March, April, and then it's off to spring market. So many of you have been asking what are our year-end totals. So this is still not 100% accurate. We're putting in all of our Florida transactions. If you're our Florida agents, you've probably been getting over the last few days pay stub statements for deals that closed end of last year, like October, November, December. That's because we've got our bookkeeping all up and running for Florida, getting all those transactions in. Now, when you close a transaction, just like our New England agents, you'll get your pay stub as soon as the transaction closes. With that, it looks like we're right around 3,250 closings at 1.51 billion in volume. We're also working on a tally for rentals because we had a significant increase in rentals this year too. So we'll be sending out the year-end stats shortly, but super excited to hit the $1.5 billion mark. Many of you guys will remember that just a few short years ago, we were trying so hard to hit the $1 billion mark. And here we are surpassing $1.5 billion in sales volume. So congratulations to all of our agents. We're going to be celebrating soon. We're working on organizing our award programs for Florida and for New England, but that's an incredible year for LAER Realty. So congratulations on all of your hard work. Let's take a look at our December numbers. So for December, with our Massachusetts offices, we did 109 million, and that was 230 closings in the month of December. New Hampshire offices, I want to just point out here because the numbers get a little bit confusing, is that we did 23 transactions at 9.1 million. That does not mean that we did 23 transactions in New Hampshire. It means that our two fairly new offices in New Hampshire, the agents listed in those offices did 23 transactions. We do quite a bit of transactions in New Hampshire, but a lot of it is our Massachusetts agents who are located in Massachusetts offices doing business in New Hampshire. So these numbers here are just agents located in New Hampshire office. For December, did 23 transactions at 9.1 million. And then for our Florida closings, we did 45 transactions at $15.1 million. And it says November there, but these are all December numbers. Let's take a look at our top producers for December. For Florida, our top overall producer for December was Jose Alcibo, and then we have Team Gesualdo out of our Port St. Lucie office was our top team in Florida. And then we're going to go through our top 10. So Team Gesualdo, Jose, Team Dominguez, Chris Infante, David Gilpin, Jesse, Darley, Gaston, Jeff, and Team Slavon. Those are our top 10 agents for the month of December. And by the way, some of you guys have already asked, we're going to do year-end stats of our top agents in overall, like our top 25 for the year. And the answer is yes. We're trying to figure out how to compile the numbers for Florida. We'll probably end up pulling those from MLS because some of them closed under Bowen, some of them closed under LAER. But yes, we're going to send out in the next couple of days our numbers for the entire year for you guys to take a look at. Top New Hampshire agents for Jean Team, Fulford Group, Karen Pelletier, and Jessica Preventure. And then let's take a look at our top agents and teams in Massachusetts. So in Massachusetts, we have hundreds and hundreds of agents. So we kind of break this up a little bit. We have our top 5 teams by volume: Button & Co., Silver Key Homes, the Steve and Doug team, Dan O'Connell and Associates, and the Results Group. And then top 5 agents by volume. So this is individual agents. We have Susan Tebow, Matt Kelly, Derek Amato, Brenda Albert, and Janet Cram. And then we also do it by unit. So top teams by unit: Silver Key Homes, Tingsboro, Dan O'Connell and Associates, the Results Group, Button & Co., the Steve and Doug team. And then top 5 agents by unit: Susan, Brenda, Matt Kelly, Bonnie Lawrence, and Tom Morissette. So congratulations to all of our top agents for the month of December. We're staying very strong in the marketplace, especially in New England. In Florida, it heats up this time of year that we start to experience a spring market already in Florida. In Massachusetts and New Hampshire, things typically slow down, although they haven't slowed down as much as is typical in our marketplace. Let's talk about some office updates. First, in case you weren't at our December meeting, I wanted to once again just announce that we were very excited to make it into the Boston Globe top places to work for 2021. What makes us most proud about this accomplishment is this is based on surveys sent out to our agents. There are lots of top agent and top brokerage lists out there that you can buy your way onto. This is not one of them. The only way to get on this list is through the surveys of the people who work at the company. So we were one of the top 5 places to work in Massachusetts, right up there with like Facebook and Enterprise Bank. So we're really excited that our culture, especially coming back from a year where so much was virtual, that our culture still holds strong. Our people are still happy to be with LAER. So very excited about that accomplishment. Next, I wanted to invite Craig to talk for a few minutes about some sustainability updates, as Craig has to leave us shortly for another meeting. So welcome, Craig. Nope, you're muted.
Thank you, Stacy. I'm going to just switch my screens here. So I'm going to throw in the chat something really exciting. So NAR yesterday released its first ESG corporate sustainability report. Really exciting to see this report. The press release is great. It's a relatively short press release that you can take a look at and see what the activities are that NAR is doing in terms of its corporate sustainability initiatives. And really excited to announce that, Stacy, that the NAR folks took a deep dive on the LAER sustainability report, and you'll notice that if you go into the NAR sustainability report, that it is kind of modeled on what we've been doing at LAER with our sustainability reports. So really exciting to see all of the work that's being done. So proud to be a realtor with all the initiatives that have been happening over the last 3-4 years in particular. NAR is really taking a strong stance in this part of the industry. In bringing it back home, specifically to my home in Melrose, I just want to give you guys a little bit of information about how the political will is changing towards a clean energy economy and what that means for opportunities for us as realtors, not only here in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Florida, but across the United States. We're seeing a movement towards this. This is a draft. Hasn't been published yet. It wasn't published in November 2021, but for Melrose's net zero action plan. And Melrose is where I live. That's our middle school building with all the solar panels on the top. Melrose, Stacy, is where all the cool people live too, just so you know. I mean, it's a great community. But I want to highlight a couple things. We did an analysis in Melrose in 2017 of the carbon emissions that happened in the city of Melrose. And you can see most of those carbon emissions, 61%, were in the built environment, 38% in the transportation sector, and then 0.4% in the waste sector. What that goes down to is 7 metric tons of CO2 per resident per year emitted into the atmosphere. 7 metric tons. So a family of 4, that's 28 metric tons. That's over 61,000 pounds of carbon that is emitted for a family of 4 in the city of Melrose, which is a leader in energy efficiency. So just kind of numbers to understand where we're dealing with here and why this political will is here. But I'm going to jump forward to one really important piece of the built environment section of this report. So I've got a draft of this because I'm one of the stakeholders in this and have been asked to give some feedback on what's going on here. I want to highlight this. Partly because I'm going to be teaching the green designation again, April 27th and 28th for GBAR, for Greater Boston Association of Realtors. Really excited that that's going to be in a live classroom in the Reading facility. So I've had many LAER agents asking me when I'm teaching green next, and it's April 27th and 28th, so put that on your calendar. But I want to highlight a reason for you to take that green designation and why it's so important right now. You can see that Melrose is ready to adopt a net zero energy stretch code that was adopted, that was passed into law, signed into law by Governor Baker in March 2021, and now is going through a regulatory review process that will be released later this year. There are 59 communities in the Commonwealth, all within LAER service areas, that expressed interest in this net zero energy stretch code. So what does that mean? Well, I'm guessing, we haven't seen what DOER is saying about this, but it's going to be homes that are built, new construction homes or extensive remodels of homes that are built so that they're hyper energy efficient, better building envelopes, and probably built to be PV ready, not a requirement of solar PV being on the rooftops, but a significant amount, enough building envelope that you could easily power the whole home with solar PV. And in fact, seeing where the market's going, Stacy, I'm in the process of my Melrose home. We are now doing a deep energy retrofit on the home, an 1890s Victorian, which is a tough building envelope, but we're proving that we can do this with this home. Deep energy retrofit, complete fuel switching, going away from natural gas, going to heat pumps for heating, cooling, for hot water heat pumps too. And eventually I'll be adding PV to the house once we finish the renovation. But my wife's finally getting the kitchen that she wants, Stacy, and it's going to be an induction cooktop. I did win that argument, probably the first time I won an argument with my domestic boss, but we are switching from natural gas to an induction cooktop. So I'm doing that because I see that that's where the market is going. There is a political will for this stuff. And I'm just seeing the writing on the wall that we're moving towards this clean energy economy very quickly. That's the market opportunity. We want to make sure LAER agents have the tools that they need to list these homes for developers or with homeowners that have done this kind of work to retrofit on whatever level, even if it's air sealing and insulation work, that we have the tools to be able to lead the market at LAER. So that's my little spiel. Thank you very much, Stacy. I've got to run because actually I'm meeting, I have a meeting with NAR for the person that wrote that NAR sustainability report. So awesome. I got to go.
All right. Thank you, Craig.
You got it.
All right. Next up, we have reporting from his COVID bed, wherever he lives, our favorite attorney,
Yeah,
Joe Colantino, who said he's in his bathrobe, so
yeah,
he
yeah.
couldn't put his camera on today.
You get the
But
back-to-back Melrose folk, me and Craig. So thank you. Yeah, I want to spare people having to stare at me today because it's not a pretty sight.
And what we asked Joe to talk about today, and I'll tell you why I asked you to speak on this subject, Joe, is Condo Docks. And the reason I wanted you to talk about Condo Docks today is because over the weekend, as if you're in New England, it looks like about 50-50. We have about 50% of our agents on here today are New England, and 50% are basking in the sun in beautiful Florida. But if you're in New England, you're experiencing like 1 degree below zero weather today. And we had a big snowstorm on Friday. In fact, our boot camp, we had to conduct from our homes because schools were canceled, etc. But interestingly, I manned the our happy agent system for part of the weekend. And I saw emails come in from agents who had sold properties, and the listings, so we worked the buy side and they were condos, and the listings stated that the condos included snow plowing. In a couple instances, that is not the case. And so we had some unhappy buyers finding out that they had to invest in snow plowing, which they weren't planning for. So I was hoping you could talk about what should agents be looking for in general when reading these condo docs.
Yeah. So I just want to touch on two things, right? So Massachusetts and Florida, this will apply to Florida as well. The main difference in Florida condo docs are going to be a majority of condos in Florida, I have found, have rights of first refusals for anyone in the condo to buy the condo at the price that it's listed at. So that is one main difference from Florida to Massachusetts. Typically, if we have what's called a right of first refusal, it's only for the association to purchase. But in Florida, I've noticed that anyone in the condo can purchase at the number. And we've had, some clients from Massachusetts that go down to Florida, and that's happened to them. Massachusetts, we have two ways that properties are held in a condo. So one is condominium, which is under Mass General Laws 183. And then we also have co-ops. I won't really hit on co-ops too much today. They're really only in the city. They're an outdated way to own a condo, and a lot more confusing. So if anyone ever gets a co-op situation, feel free to call me, email me, and make sure that you get out on the right foot. Condos. So what is a condo? A condo is created by filing a declaration of trust with the Registry of Deeds, a master deed, as well as having unit plans, site plans, and parking plans if applicable. So those all need to be recorded for the condo to be created and come to life. Master deed, declaration of trust, plans, those are all going to be recorded documents. Can easily get those at the registry. You can follow through at the registry to see if there's been amendments, see what the amendments say, what they are. But my approach as an attorney, whenever I see a condo, let's say on the buyer side, it's a lot more due diligence. When I see a condo for a buyer, my first question to seller's agent and or attorney is, please provide any condo meeting minutes, budget, and any rules and regulations that may not be recorded, because those don't have to be recorded. What are we looking for in meeting minutes? Keywords, we're looking for assessments. Are they going to be doing any work in the future? What are we looking for on budget? Snow removal, is that a line item? Is that something that they budget for / pay? Landscaping, what are we paying? Is there a healthy reserve? Is there not a healthy reserve? So that is the main things you look at. But specifically, when I have a client, the questions I ask them, and it's typically in the master deed or the rules and regulations, are you ever going to rent this place out? Do you want to Airbnb it? Likely not going to be able to. All the condo docs in Massachusetts have pretty much been amended to not allow short-term rentals. Are you going to have roommates? And do you want pets or do you have pets? Those are the major points that I've run into where a client says to me, yeah, no, I have a dog. It's a mixed breed. Well, it says no pit bulls. Can you send me a picture of your dog? And sure enough, you get a picture of the dog. It looks just like a pit bull. Obviously, the vet and them are going to tell you it's not a pit bull. It's a Staffordshire Terrier, whatever the case may be. So important things whenever you're representing a buyer in a condo, those two questions are really important, especially the rental question. Some condominiums allow for rentals. However, they have certain requirements. So needs to be over 6-month lease, or only a certain number of the units can be leased. So you don't want to have a client buying a place to lease it and then to come to find out they can't lease it out. So those are the major things I look at. And really the meeting minutes and the budget are going to tell you a lot about the condo itself. 3, 2 unit condos, not as important. They always try to typically keep condo fees low and they self-manage and things like that. But anything over, I would say 6 units, that's either self-managed or managed by someone else, should have pretty well put together documents, meeting minutes, budget, things like that.
The other thing I've seen come up in those condo documents is you got to double check on your parking rights. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this morning, I'm doing a purchase and sale on a condo sale. So I'm looking at the unit deed, and it has these people purchased in 1989. Their original deed out when it became a condo in the North End. And it says parking, and then it says parking space 34, and it's all scratched out. And then it says NA, not applicable. But then later on in the unit deed to them, it says the grantor, the seller, hereby conveys all rights in parking to the grantee for the use of parking one automobile. It went into a full spiel. Master deed had parking spaces all laid out, but these people do not have a parking space. So it's really tricky when you get to those scenarios with parking. I did one recently where parking space in the master deed said unit 1 has parking space number 24. Well, in MLS, in the purchase and sale, it all said parking space number 37. So I went to the attorney. I said, that's not what the documents say, and went to the manager. That's not what the documents say. Well, yeah, technically that's not their spot, but they use it. So we got something from the owner that was using their parking and the unit they were using parking, just saying, we understand this is not our spot, and we're going to use this throughout the duration of our ownership. So that satisfied our client. But yeah, there's so many mistakes. There's so many things that, especially if it's an older condo, that they just start to drift away from. Maybe they don't have it. They may be operating the same way, and they tell you that that's how they're operating, but really the condo docs are the living, breathing document. So that's what you have to go by. So
awesome stuff, which is a good idea. It's a good reason or a good reminder for us as to why our buyers and our sellers should be hiring an attorney to help them read all of the fine details.
Yeah, and it's funny. Anytime I get a condo deal, the agent will say, "Oh, just easy condo deal,"
Yes.
and they're never easy. The condos are the hardest ones. A single family home that's been owned for 30 years is the easy one. A condo with 100 units is never easy.
All right, awesome. Thank you for joining us today, Joe. You can go back to bed now.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, I wanted to share with you something that Sergio put together with us. So this came from some work that our leadership council has been working on. So many of you know that we have a LAER leadership council, which consists of 16 agents from all different parts of the company, different from Florida, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. We meet once a month for 1 hour to talk about different ways that we can make the company better and expose the brand to more buyers and sellers and make it easier for our agents to do business. And one of the things that always comes up is that our agents say there's so many tools, training, technology. It's really difficult to navigate it all because there's just so much to navigate. And last year we came up with our LAER Program and Services Guide in order to make it a little easier to navigate. I'm going to go to share my screen here to show our newest edition, which I think will make life easier for everybody. And it is, we created a new web page called LAER Agent Services. So if you go to laeragentservices.com, we've organized everything to make it much easier for you to locate all the important things you need to use at LAER. So again, it's laeragentservices.com. At the top, you can click on and get a list of all the office locations. If you want to access a LAER office, you can click here and it will give you the form to fill out to access an office. There's a link here to see which offices have staff and when. So if you are having a client drop off a check, for example, or a document, and you want to make sure there's staff in, which is a very good idea this time of year. We've had lots of staff members out sick. So before you have anybody drop something at one of the office locations, click on which offices have staff and it'll give you the calendar of which offices have administrative staff, what time they come and go, etc. If you're new to LAER, we have this just joined section. We have a section that you can get templates for announcing on social media. It'll give you a link to LAER GPS right here. Those are the 300 most common questions that we get through the Happy Agent system. We have a link to our onboarding checklist, all the things you need to do when you join our brokerage, and then a link to our LAER Program and Services Guide. That's the list of all the different tools that you have access to. Then we take you down to our marketing section. So first we have request marketing piece. That's if you want to make a special request. All of our marketing is done automatically. So when you get a new listing, we're automatically creating your marketing pieces and emailing them and texting them to you. But maybe you want to request pieces in advance of a listing, you can do that here. Or maybe you want a very specific marketing piece, you can request that right here. We have announcement templates, year-end templates. So these are all like social media marketing pieces. Our LAER brochure, our buyer guide, seller guide, investor guide, listing presentation, and then other LAER listing tools. So these are all just marketing pieces, the most commonly used marketing pieces we've organized for you. So most of those will link you right over to a Canva template. Then we've better organized our classes, meetings, and coaching. So you want to find out when the next boot camp is, you click here. It's always the first Friday of the month. Our LAER business planning guide, which we're going to take you through in a couple minutes. You can click there and download our PDF business planning guide. You want to sign up for coaching, you can click on the coaching button. Our forms training classes, our upcoming training calendar, LAER University, monthly sales meeting link, our weekly yoga class. And then we've been putting a lot of our training classes on YouTube. The only reason we've been doing that is we put all of our training on LAER University, but there's so much content on there and you have to log in order to access it. We're trying to make it so that as soon as we do a class or a meeting, we can just email out the links to those classes. So we have a link to our YouTube channel where you can watch a great deal of our classes. Then we have little links about each of the different tech bundle tools. The very first link is if you still have to sign up for our LAER Tech Bundle, which includes Isaac, Boston Logic, and Real Scout, you can click here and it'll take you to the form to sign up. As well, we created these little pages with tutorials on how to use each of the bundles. Then we have login pages. We have all these different places that agents are always having to log into stuff. So AdWorks, Cloud CMA, Loop, LAER Career Den, Real Scout. So each of these will take you to the login page of these. So if you haven't been on Isaac for a while and you don't remember how to log in, you can just go here and it'll take you right to the login page. Then we have a section on getting paid, the LAER check request form, mobile deposit, which right now is just for New England agents, although we're working on getting that for Florida agents as well. And then how to access e-checks. You can do that right here. Many of you guys are always asking about ordering signs, apparel, business cards. We've organized links to all of that. Mailing and marketing companies down at the bottom. So again, it's laeragentservices.com, and that is just one nice organized place to find all of the important LAER tools. So in reality, there's nothing new here. We've just made it a little bit more organized. We've organized all the tools to make it just a little simpler for you to find and locate all of the important things. Again, it's laeragentservices.com. So with that, I want to go back to our presentation. Let's see. Next up, we're going to talk about our upcoming, some recent classes that we've conducted, as well as there we go. So as a reminder, all of our upcoming training programs can be found at laerrealty.com/training. On there, that's our calendar of all the upcoming classes at LAER. I always try to remind agents that if you don't want to miss a class, then what you should do when you go to laerrealty.com, underneath /training, when you're looking at the calendar, underneath the calendar, you'll see two sync links. One is for Apple and one is for Google Calendar. If you click on whichever calendar you typically use, you can sync our calendar with your calendar. That way you'll never miss a training program again. But we do offer tools training every Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1:30, there's typically training on one of our tools, but you can find all of that training at laerrealty.com. /training. Next, I wanted to remind everybody, especially if you want leads, is that January 19th at 11, that is 1 week from today at roughly the same time as this meeting, we're doing a call with Veterans United. So over the last 2 years, we've had a really interesting partnership with Veterans United. It was a small group of agents that closed a lot of business from Veterans United. So Veterans United is opening up 34 new spots for our agents. So if you're an agent in New England or Florida that wants more business, you should be on this call. What you need to know is that these are the leads that you get from the program are veteran leads. So they're more work than an average lead because you have to really educate the buyer. Sometimes veterans think because it's zero money down for their mortgage that they don't need any money to buy a house. We know that they're still going to need a down payment probably just to hold the property, and that they're going to need closing costs, prepaids, etc. So they do take work, they take patience, they take persistence, especially in a hot housing market. These are not always the easiest buyers to get homes accepted for because you have to get a listing agent and a seller to want to work with that buyer. But if you want them, there are tons of buyer leads through this program. So it is a referral. Veterans United is a referral is a referral arm of Veterans United Home Loans. So you have to work with their lenders because the way they're getting these transactions is getting them approved through their mortgage company and then referring them to agents. There is a referral fee of 30%. So much better referral rate than some of the other programs like OpCity, but really important, you have to know how to convert leads. The agents that we've had in the Veterans United program for the last couple of years, each agent averages 10 to 15 transactions closed per year from Veterans United. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, head on over to our LAER training calendar, laerrealty.com/training, and look for next Wednesday, the 19th at 11 o'clock, and sign into that program so that you can find out how to take one of those 34 seats so that you can start getting these veterans leads. We also have a class being offered on January 25th by Christina Frey, who has a great book on marketing. And she's doing a class called Marketing for Humans, bringing the human back into marketing. So this is going to be Tuesday, January 25th from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. It's going to be on Zoom and Facebook. The instructor will be there live for the program. Looks really exciting to me. I look forward to watching it as well. So go check out Marketing for Humans. As always, we continue to offer our yoga series. So if you want to get organized, refreshed, relaxed for the new year, then make sure you check out our Wednesday morning yoga classes. And you can sign up at the laerrealty.com/training. So we have some other classes. Basically every Tuesday and Thursday we have classes, but we have some great classes coming up on Boston Logic, LAER Marketing Center, LAER Agent Tech Bundle Training, Cloud CMA. You can watch some of our recent classes at youtube.com/LAER training. As well, you can go to LAER University. So we've been most recently adding each class we do both to our YouTube station and to our LAER University station. So if you missed a class that you really wish you had seen, then go head over and find it there. Especially we did 2 classes, or technically 3 classes this month. We did ISACT 1 and 2. So ISACT Beginner and ISACT Advanced. And it's a very detailed class on how to get your ISACT up and running. You can find those on our YouTube station. As well, we did a great program on how to future-proof your business. And if you missed that and want to take it, then head over to youtube.com/LAER training. As a reminder, if you missed last month's class or last month's sales meeting, all of our sales meetings are on LAER University. You can find last month's sales meeting. We did an awesome segment last month with Matt McLaughlin, who's one of our biggest OpCity closers. If you are using OpCity and you want to get better at converting those leads, I urge you to go back and watch last month's sales meeting. And you can fast forward it. You don't have to watch a full 1-hour program. You can fast forward it right to the part where Matt's talking, which is about 40 minutes into our sales meeting. And he shows you how to increase your conversion rate by increasing your score. So OpCity scores you, and he shows you how to increase your score so that not only do you get more leads, you get them before everybody else so that you get a higher quality lead. So quickly, OpCity is owned by Realtor.com. Any agent can sign up for OpCity leads. If you want to be receiving leads from OpCity, they charge a referral fee of either 35 or 38% per transaction, but they do give a lot of leads. If you want to sign up for the program, you can just email happyagent@laerrealty.com and we'll get you into the OpCity program. But go watch that program with Matt, because he's going to show you how to claim referrals quickly, contact referrals quickly, make sure you update your status in OpCity. And then what's really important, there's a couple things that increase your score within OpCity. And one of them is how quickly you meet with a referral. So what Matt does is he will, if he has a phone meeting with the person, he will log it in as a meeting into the system, because the more meetings you have, the more leads you get. And then, of course, you increase your score by closing transactions. If you're new to OpCity, I will warn you that your first deal or two is usually a mobile home or a rental. They have an algorithm for testing the agents, and it involves some really small deals to start. But once you get past the rental and the mobile home sale, they start to give you some really strong transactions. So go in, by the way, you can go into the OpCity Help Center and it tells you how their scoring system works, but you want to make sure you get as high as possible on your score so that you get as many leads as possible. Next, I just wanted to talk for a few minutes about business planning for 2022. Oftentimes, real estate agents take this time of year to step back and kind of organize everything and plan for next year. Now, why would you want to plan for next year? Mostly you need to plan for next year, especially if you want to do more next year. So if you closed 20 transactions last year and you want to close 40 this year, then the best way to do that is to make sure you have a plan as to exactly how you're going to accomplish that, instead of just moving into the year and doing everything exactly as you did it last year. So a couple things I want to go over, and we only have about 10 minutes left. But first, I sent out a Mindful Monday article this week that I wrote about urgent versus important. Because typically what happens this time of year is we're like 2 weeks into the first of the year. Many of us start January with resolutions. Why do we create resolutions? Because there's something in our life or our business that we want to do better or do more of. So that's why we create the resolution. If we were happy with where we were, if we were 100% content with where we were last year, then you don't need a resolution. But in fact, many people make resolutions because they want more and better than they had last year. So what happens typically about 2 weeks into the first of the year is oftentimes agents get into a slump, that they had these big resolutions that they're going to go from 20 closings to 40 or from 40 to 80, or they're going to increase their average price. I know there's lots of you that want to go from an average price of 400 to an average price of $1 million. But then 2 weeks into the year and you're really not working towards the goal, that you've kind of already let the goal or the resolution slip from your mind. And one of the reasons that I talk about in the Mindful Monday is that as real estate agents, we're really good at working at urgent matters. In fact, for the last 18 months in the real estate market, everything has been urgent, from like showing a property to writing an offer to multiple offer situations. We live dealing with urgent matters. Our daily schedule is dealing with urgent matters. The problem with dealing with urgent matters all day, every day, is that often the urgent matters are not the important matters. So when it comes to resolutions and knowing that you want to do better or make more this year, it is imperative that you put aside time to work on the important matters. Now, there's some psychology around this, because the reason we like to work on urgent all the time is because there's a sense of accomplishment. Like we get stuff done. It feels good to get stuff done at the end of the day. So typically we get all kinds of stuff pushed at us, from somebody has to go look at a house to writing an offer to there's a deal issue to all kinds of things. And so we go accomplish all those urgent things throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, we haven't worked on the important, i.e. the things that are going to move us closer to what we really want. So we tend to focus on the urgent because it feels good at the end of the day to have accomplished something. But note that the urgent stuff that we work on is typically the stuff that can get delegated to somebody else. Urgent stuff always gets taken care of eventually by somebody. So we have to be proactive about carving out time. I'd say even going beyond carving out time, it is imperative to start putting the important stuff first and the urgent stuff second. By important, I mean the stuff that is going to move your business to a different place. The reason why New Year's resolutions don't work, in my opinion, in our industry is because by January 15th, we're just back to working on urgent again. And our days go by working on urgent, and we never get to important. By the way, there's a psychology about why we never get to the important stuff as well. The reason for it is because the important stuff is the hard stuff. It's the risky stuff. It's the stuff that we have to like put one step forward and trust that it's going to bring us to a better place. So it doesn't feel as good at the beginning when you're working on the important stuff. It doesn't give you the high of getting stuff done like the urgent stuff does. So it's scary, it's risky going after that important stuff, but that's the stuff that's going to enable you to go from 20 transactions to 40 or from 40 transactions to 80. It must be, if you want something more than you had last year, you have to stop focusing on the urgent. You have to prioritize the important, make a list of the important stuff and put that first. The urgent stuff's going to figure out a way to get done. The important stuff needs to come first. So that was the topic of the Mindful Monday. If you want to read more on that topic, you can go to Monday's message. But next, I wanted to also let you guys know, well, before I have Sergio come on and talk for a couple minutes. Let me stop sharing just for a second. And I'm not going to really go into too much on this, but we sent out to you last week a phenomenal LAER business planning tool. So now that you've decided like, hey, it's 2 weeks into the new year and I haven't been working on the important stuff, then maybe today is a good day to put the important stuff first. And for some of you, you don't even know what the important work is yet. So you have a goal of where you want to go, but you don't know what is the important work that is going to get you there. So if that sounds like you, then maybe it's worth taking some time over the next couple of days. And by taking some time, I mean prioritizing this stuff over the urgent stuff. So I'll have Sergio share a link for you guys to this, but I sent it out to everybody last week. It's a phenomenal business planning tool. It's a whole business planning workbook that walks you through like, where do you want to be? Why do you want to be there? What is your vision? What do you want your branding to look like? Like this is about building a business. It is about not flying by the seat of your pants, not going into 2022 saying I'll wing it and see where we get for production. It's about saying, no, this year I'm doing $30 million in sales. I'm going to do this many transactions, and this is the steps I'm going to take to get there. So after going through that whole thing about urgent versus important, if you're not sure what the important stuff is, then go back to this business planning tool, because we're going to walk you right through it. It's like just time block an hour off your schedule and go through, print out the booklet and start filling it out. And by the time you've completed the entire book, and it's big, it's I think 40 plus pages. By the time you've finished filling out all the pieces of this book, you're going to have an idea of what the important stuff is that you need to work on. So with that, I want to ask Sergio to come on just for a couple minutes, because the other thing we sent out to you guys last week was a social media, about 20 different social media posts to to announce your year-end stats. So Sergio's going to do just a really quick demo for us on how you can put together your social media announcement based on last year's transactions. So I'll let you take it from here, Sergio.
Yep, I can share my screen. There we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so Stacy sent out an email to all of you, the 2021 stats, customize your social media templates. It looks just like this. We created this template like all of our other templates in Canva. It just makes it easier to share with you guys. I'm going to click on the template and you'll see something like this. It'll say template was created by Stacy and start designing now. You can get a preview of what this looks like. And all you have to do is click on use template. If you're not signed into Canva yet, you'll be prompted to sign in and you can register there. I'm already signed in, but I'm actually signed in with my free Canva account. So I'll have a button up here that says try Canva Pro. That means I'm using the free account. I'm doing this just to show you that you can go in here and customize with the free account. There's no need to use the pro account except for a couple of things, but there are workarounds, right? So we have several designs available, like a lot actually. Different designs that have, if you had a lot of transactions in the year, you can grab a picture of all those homes and then just upload them and drag them over. I'll show you how to do that soon. You can customize your information here as well. Everything here is customizable. So if you even want to change, it says thanks, but you can change it to Spanish, if you want something else. Choose the one that you're happy with, right? So these all have homes and stuff, but there are some down here that are just like, what a year, 2021. You don't have to include the homes. Let me upload a picture of a home just to show you how easy it is to just upload photos into Canva. So I'm going to go and click here on the left. I went to uploads, right? I'm clicking on the purple button that says upload media. I'm here in just my downloads folder. I'm going to see if I have a picture of a home somewhere. I must have one. This is a different computer. But once I find a picture of a home, here we go. All you have to do is double click on it. You'll see it upload here. You have to wait until it uploads completely. There we go. And then all you do is just click on it and drag over. Now I'm holding the mouse button down and I'm still holding it down now. So let's say I want it to be over here instead of here. You'll see it snap into several locations, right? These frames are just placeholders. And all I have to do is just drag over the square here that I want and then let go. So that places the image here. I can now double click and move the image around. Let's say, most of these pictures are like horizontal and you just want to make sure that you have your whole home in there. And then you go ahead and do the rest, like you add the other images of your home. Once it's completed, let me also show you how to add your own information. So here's one where I can just grab my picture. I already uploaded this image and I can drag it over. You see how, let me zoom in. You'll see how his head is kind of cut off. You can double click. Again, I'm double clicking and then dragging within the frame to adjust it.
That was worth the whole sales meeting. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know that you could do that. Do you know how many times I just choose a different picture because it doesn't fit right?
Yeah, just double click and then
That's
you can move
awesome.
it around. If you want to make it bigger too, from within the frame, you can do that
That's
as well.
awesome.
You'll notice that some of these do have like this vertical photo for if you do have like a full body shot. Now, if you have Canva Pro, it's very easy to just click on a photo, you go to edit image and you click on background remover. Very easily, it just removes the background and it looks like this. But if you don't have Canva Pro, there are some workarounds. So you can use this online PNG tools. Again, you just go here, you import from file. I already have one here. And there it is. I'll click Save As, and it'll download. Now, I will put this in the chat as well. Adobe also has a tool that I find that's a little bit easier to use. Let me put that in the chat right now. And it's basically the same. You can either drag or drop an image, just click on browse your device. I find that the algorithm it uses is a little better for removing the background. So all you have to do is upload your photo. It'll do its calculations and then click on download. And now I have a PNG that is transparent. Now I can go back into Canva, click on upload media. Let me go to one that requires one of those vertical images. Here's one. I'm going to click on upload media and then upload my latest version. Here we go. Let it upload all the way. Especially with these PNGs, you want to make sure it uploads all the way. And then you just click on it and drag it over to this frame. And that's it. Now I can make it bigger or smaller. I can do whatever I need to make it look good. Now, to download and export these files, once we have one that we're happy with, let's say we are working with this one. I went in, I put in my stats. Make note of which one it is. So this is page 8. You can even add a page title that says this one, right? Just to help you. Click on download up here where it says select pages. Just scroll down to, well, first you want to uncheck everything. I'm going to scroll down to page 8, click on this one, right? And then click done and download. So this downloads a PNG. You can download either a PNG or a JPEG. Again, I'm just using the free version of Canva. And there it is. So this downloaded this as a PNG. Now I can go into Facebook. Let me find there it is. Just click on photo video. Again, you don't have to use Facebook. This can be on Instagram, on anything else. Just add the picture itself, and then we can add some text, something I pre-wrote before, like, thank you so much for this awesome year, blah, blah, blah. I can either post, or if I want to schedule this at a certain date, there's a little button here that says schedule post. I can schedule it to go out on Friday at, I don't know, we'll do 7 a.m. or 7:20 a.m. schedule, and that's it. It's done. So that schedules it out. You know that here under scheduled post, you'll see what your post will look like, and that's it. Or you can just choose to post now. Like I said, you don't need Facebook. You can use Instagram. You can use Twitter. We have formatted these so it looks good everywhere. You can even send this out as an email. And that's it.
All right, awesome stuff.
Yep.
Thank you, Sergio. So for all of you guys that need to get your social media posts out there, if you need us to send you a list of your closings, so to get all those photos of the properties, we can send you a list for many agents. If you haven't been here all year, I download the list from MLS. So if you need help putting together a list of the transactions you closed last year, if you worked here all year, we have that. It's easy to provide. If you didn't, we can help you get that from the multiple listing service so that you can prepare your posts. And as a reminder, there were about 20 different social media posts there. So you don't have to have like 30 closings to have a great post. Even if you had a few closings, there's some great options there for your New Year's post. As a reminder, if you need us to help with any type of marketing pieces, you can go to laer.link.backslash-bundle request. Also, as a reminder, if you go to laerrealty.com/listing tools, there's all kinds of great stuff there as you prepare and organize your listing presentation for the new year. We put some great tools there to help you organize that. If you want to get into any of the LAER offices, go to laerrealty.com/office access. We'll give you information for accessing each of the locations. LAER GPS, these are just, if all the questions we get through Happy Agent on a daily basis. You can find answers at laergps.com. If you're interested in joining a committee for 2022 to help have a voice in the tools, training, everything we do, like I mentioned, laeragentservices.com, that was a byproduct of our leadership council coming together regularly. So we listen to what you guys tell us will make a better company. And if you want to have a voice in all that, then join one of our committees at laerrealty.com/committees. In the meantime, until next month, if we can help you with anything, just email happyagent@laerrealty.com and our support team will help you. And we will see you next month. Thank you to everybody who joined us for our first meeting of the new year. Wishing you a happy new year, and we'll see you next month. Thanks, everyone.